Hello my friends, my name is Kale, and today I'm going to be digging into the Borderlands community to see what fans are asking for in Borderlands 4. I've been reading through subreddits, forums, and fan discussions, and even your comments on my last video to find out what people want most in Borderlands 4. Here's what Reddit had to say. Build saving. Basically a way to store a skill build, gear setup, and equip it with one button click at a new U station. Being able to farm a boss without save quitting, put a deconstruct lever at the entrance of a boss that I can hit over and over, still considered canon. Loot. Ambience/atmosphere of Borderlands 1, story/writing of Borderlands 2, and gunplay of Borderlands 3. Wonderlands-style melee weapons. As much as I love Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3, the melee system always was a headache to me, having to fudge around with shields and artifacts and stuff. Just simply having a different melee weapons and their own stats and effects just makes more sense. No more slag, but I would love a gun that shoots purple. Def trying to get that perp skirp. I would love to see Pearls return. Make one of the Vault Hunters be an intelligent but relatively weak vault monster with action skills that are all about briefly unlocking powers. Definitely remove the collectibles for better loot drops in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Couldn't stand that shit. They better not add loot luck, but I hope the Siren has some good skills. Krieg 2.0. Bro, I just started playing Borderlands 3. Infinite backpack. Zero underwater combat. Naked people? Sex. I am erect. Yeah! The left-handed guns and jetpacks lost in the cargo hold fire. Might just be me, but dead Ava. I want them to leave Ava in Borderlands 3. Less Ava. Now I just hope we get to personally kill Ava. Only I ask is, no more anointments, please. My one wish. Please, please let there be a way I can get Earl to customize my weapons. Please give the characters more realistic faces. Stop making them look like Chuck E. Cheese leftover animatronics. Laser weapons, Oz kits, and being able to pan the camera around my character on the main menu. OP levels would be nice to reintroduce. Weapon proficiencies, one of my favorite features for Borderlands 1, and it hasn't returned since. Enemies dropping the weapon they were using. A grinder. And dialogue skip. I want an honest-to-God full-on melee class for all the skill trees. Fight for your life. Please, for the love of God, make it so we can continue reloading during the down process like Borderlands 2. What possible new elements would you like to see in Borderlands 4? Cosmic. Unleashes unbridled rage that consumes enemies in stunning them. Antimatter. Everything it touches becomes space dust. I don't care too much about the new elements, I just want better UI. Something I've only seen in Spiral Knights? Sleep. Similar to ice, but the character just falls asleep until damaged. So un-Urseus. Ideas for new gun gimmicks. TDR snipers being spears or javelins kinda goes hard, not gonna lie. Long barrel gun should be able to hold by the barrel and used as melee weapon. A legendary that is a sniper rifle and does very high crit damage, but if you make a body shot, it does damage to you instead. A TDR gun that transforms into some sort of Autobot when reloaded. The higher the rarity, the higher the stacks. Torgue gun that shoots the current grenade equipped, lower damage stats to prevent overpowered. Dual wielding Vladoff and or Dahl rifles. This can be done by digistructing the same gun in the other hand with a damage buff. Torgue sniper rifles with timed explosives or detonated manually. Legendary Maliwan guns that changes elements based on the location's weather. Legendary shield that drops current equipped grenades when down. Shield that spawns a small drone that attracts attention for 10 seconds when down. Vladoff RPG with low damage missiles but massive magazine and fire rate stats. Guided RPGs with specific targets, like only guided to bandits or skags. Legendary Jacob sniper rifle with 6 bullet magazine. The full magazine can damage a boss for 50%, but reloading takes 10 seconds and switching gun is not allowed. Or during reload you can't walk or run. Please, Gearbox, for Borderlands 4 change how cosmetics drops. Make they never drop again if you have unlocked them, and give a higher drop chance for the cosmetic to be for your current character. It will unclog the loot pools. How would you feel if all Vault Hunters could use multiple action skills in one loadout? Anyways, that's all the Reddit I have the sanity to search through. What does Steam have to say? Here's my wish list. Return of melee weapons, a Guardian playable character. Return to 3 skill trees per class. Return of special weapons like E-Tech and Iridian. different types of shields. We got energy shields, but armor and flesh shields? A raid boss in the base game and in each of the DLC. Make legendary weapons drop like they did in Borderlands 2. No random buffs or debuffs in Mayhem mode. Return of effervescent gear. A legendary collection where you put all the legendary weapons. Gotta loot them all. Just hoping for a return for Borderlands 2 style. I would have liked to see Borderlands 2 remade with the gameplay and coup mechanics of Borderlands 3. Borderlands 2 was the last game in the series. Everything after that just didn't make sense and it was no longer fun. Unless Maya is resurrected and playable with hundreds of costume parts, I don't give a fuck about this franchise. Good, highly replayable endgame content, well thought out, in-depth vault hunters, a good, gritty, dark story with no happy ending. I would want to see something completely different, something more serious, no jokes, hardcore shooter without the stupid hipster haircuts. Please, for the love of God, make this the last game. I would love to see the main player with more people. 4 friends is good, how about 10? That's all I'll read on Steam, it's mostly just complaining. On the website hardforum.com, we have people saying, for 4th installment, I hope they tone down their attempts at humor and tone down the drops. In BL3, the amount of drops was so insane that it was meaningless. Hope the graphics are still comic book outlined, or use containing lines. Still wouldn't mind a design change. Borderlands 1 was still the best of them all because it wasn't all slick and modern looking. Desolation is what Borderlands 4 needs to bring back, and less digital puke. Then I stumbled across the Blizzards, the Blizzard forums. If anyone is unaware, BL4 releases in 2025, and then True Caesar follows up with, who'd make a game modeled after that horrendous movie, Lamau? I just hope the legendary drop rates aren't anything like BL3. True Caesar, again, Ava will be playable, and you will be mandated to love her. If you don't, we'll kill off Amara just like we did Maya. Lilith will return as the goddess we intended her to be, to the sound of Girls on Fire by Alicia Keys. So essentially nothing of value. Here's some people on random websites that I don't have the willpower to actually go through and credit each of them. Here's what they say. I've been Borderlands fan from the start, so hearing that Borderlands 4 is coming in 2025, dream come true, but I have some concerns. Last game was fun, but it didn't really push the series forward, etc. Talk. I has idea for DLC 4, smiley face. You should be ashamed. I has idea for DLC 4? Seriously? I assume you're not American or English or whatever, because if you are, people should take a hammer and smash your face with it until blood comes out. I mean, right now, I want to take a golf bat and smack your balls. They need to make the game look nicer and decrease the number of weapons, says Woman Life Freedom. No Mouth and Must Scream says, a game for relaxing. Duke Cameron Grimlock says, I prefer to call it Borderlands 5. Next, I want to talk about some of the comments on my last video. There were some good ones, and there were some interesting ones, to say the least. Jeffrey says, I think they should just take levels out of the game. Find a different way to obtain passive and active skills. Most people going to resort to optimum XP or save editing anyways. Then he follows that up with, I want to see 4 skills we can use at the same time. Sort of like Outriders or the First Descendant. They could make the 4th skill like the ultimate. I always thought one skill was always boring. Patrick says, please, no Lilith. I just hope there are new planets to go to like in Borderlands 3. Underdome says, hopefully they break away from laser weapons. It's so cliche. I want them to bring back the Iridians and Iridian weapons. Domitian Plur? I don't know. I hate reaching max level before feeling like I'm ready. Makes me feel bored if I got hours of content to still get through, but I'm maxed out. Joe is a Zone. If they don't implement matchmaking and live service weekly activities, game is gonna die out again. Amara Zane says, the nerfs need to stop big time. At least if something absolutely has to be nerfed, then don't nerf it out of existence. Some ridiculous nerfs in Borderlands 3 made me wish I hadn't played in Year 1. Can't believe that alien weapons will return. A character or weapon that allows you to rocket jump would be cool. I like the idea of a crafting system in Borderlands, but I'm kind of tired of people always thinking of the worst possible implementation being the only possibility. This gentleman here, Prideless Scene, basically says, button to respawn bosses, but only after beating main story, tone down legendary chance, and Borderlands 3 made legendaries feel not as good to obtain. On the other hand, this gentleman, Duo777, basically writes the entire story for Borderlands 4. To sum it up, because this will literally take 10 minutes of reading, pause the video if you want to read it. Mr. Beast makes zombies with Feastables. The Guardian is brainwashed into tricking us into a war by Mr. Beast's League of Villains. Mr. Beast captures the Siren and makes her a yes man and feeds her to Warrior. You have to do Mr. Beast challenges? Then Death Beam and Mr. Beast's dead. I say SEP to NOV release for Christmas sales. If Moxie comes back, they better not use the movie design. Oh, I just realized that's September to November. Let's move on to some comments from some content creators that I watch. I will mostly be summarizing what they've said in videos. If you want the full explanation behind their thinking, go check out their channels, because some of these do lack context. V11 Hipper says he wants a true open world environment, which I can get behind. That sounds pretty cool. No loading screens, we have the technology for it, but also, you know, there's no right answer to this. We'd be happy with either, I think. More class mods and more slots for class mods. Ability to customize guns, building your own guns out of gun parts, which I'm all for that. That would be so much fun, and it would really bring a lot to teaching people about the gun parts. Create and combine elemental surfaces, like a frost pool and fire pool that enemies can walk on. So we saw that in Borderlands 3, where you'd shoot a frost gun and you'd create a pool where enemies would step on it and they would have that elemental effect on them. He's basically saying that we can expand upon that concept itself and add more to it. Oboe Shoes Gaming. This gentleman says, make the game work, optimize performance, make legendaries more rare, launch on Steam, more than 4 Volt Hunters, get a G Fuel tie-in drink, and make the story good again. And then for the next 7 minutes of the video, he goes on and makes a Borderlands rap song about the story in Borderlands 3. It was quite enjoyable. Jolts Dude, my most respected creator in the entire Borderlands community, he says good story, dedicated drops, rare legendaries, make pearl guns good, and then tie them up in the end game. Raid bosses have to be a thing at release, which I totally agree with. More takedown content, like Malawan takedown from Borderlands 3. I really enjoyed that, and I absolutely agree that there should be more of that kind of content. DLC characters, and instead of DLC characters, or instead of doing the fourth skill tree, just do DLC characters, and he goes on and explains very valid reasons for that. Good optimization at launch. I totally can get behind that. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands still runs like ass. Borderlands 3 ran like ass, but I think it's a lot better now. It's in a lot better state. But why don't they just make it so it runs good right off the bat, right? Good end game scaling, which I'm totally all for. No more modifiers, or just keep the modifiers simple, right? And we gotta have more movement tech. More friggin' movement tech. Word spoken by a true man. Epic NNG says dialogue skip, DLC Vault Hunters, better performance, new endgame rarity, and dedicated drops. A lot of these content creators, they are saying the similar things, and I think that you can really interpret that as that's really what the community kind of wants, as you see more and more similarities. But consistently, you'll see that people want the dialogue skip, rare legendaries, DLC Vault Hunters, rarities higher than legendary, like bringing back the Effervescent and the Pearl and doing it right. You know, bringing back old gun types, better performance, dedicated drops. People want a very healthy mixture of new and old components of Borderlands. I honestly wish we can come together as a community and just chill out a bit, you know? Yes, maybe we didn't like the movie. Maybe we don't like Randy. Maybe you think several games are terrible, but god damn it, this is our series. The games we grew up on and the games our children are growing up with. I just want to enjoy this. I want to be excited about this. And if I've learned anything from the internet today, is that people are so angry and so ready to hate things. I'm not scared of Borderlands 4 being bad. I'm scared of people hating it so much that they take away something I hold very close to my heart. I cannot say that there's a single Borderlands game I hate. Sure, there's a lot of things wrong with a lot of things in a lot of things. But my god, I've seen people today using the most diabolical, racist, homophobic, war crime-esque terminology to describe Gearbox in Borderlands. You don't have to be nasty and bring people down for liking something. You can just say, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it because of the direction of the story, or the gameplay in this game isn't enjoyable because of this reason. God damn it, I just want everybody to be happy and friendly to each other. I'm excited for Borderlands 4. And by God, I hope people share the same love I have for this franchise. You don't hate your kid for not being perfect all the time. So just give this game a chance. Before you read any reviews, experience it for yourself and tell people how you feel about it without being mean. Please and thank you. Anyways, that's all, friends. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. I don't really care. Do what you gotta do. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.